Welcome
to Shade in the City.
I'm Treese.
It's Nels.
And we are getting into our review of your favorite, and it's starting to become my favorite because I watch it so damn often, 90 Day Fiance. So please make sure that you hit that like button as you're coming in.
And that subscribe button.
And let's get into it and let's get shady. Oh my God.
With Cheyenne Bilal, and he has the kids over for the weekend. Looks like he's taking Yusuf out, and Shy and Zaina are going to stay home. You know, get some bonding time. Mm-hmm. And Zaina suggests that Shy teach her some Trinidad dishes.
That was really cute.
I thought that was cute too. So she's excited to spend some time with Zaina because she says it's important to show Bilal that
I for some reason felt like they kept saying Zena, but I know it's a something. Zaina. Oh, Zaina. That makes more sense because the way her name was spelled, I was like, that don't look like Zena.
The warrior princess.
Right.
So she's excited to spend time with Zaina because she feels like it's important to show Bilal that she has a good relationship with his children and that she's ready for motherhood. Honey, raising babies and kids that are already damn near grown, different things.
Right.
But you go on. So Shy is showing Zaina how to clean the chicken. And she said, you wash it like you wash your lady parts.
It made Zaina very uncomfortable. She was like, what? I don't even know what to say. This is really awkward.
It did make her super uncomfortable. Now, I know I wash my chicken with either lemon juice or vinegar.
Yeah, that was common.
But I use a knife. I don't be, to scrape the skin and stuff like that. I don't be.
She was getting in there.
She was in there. She was
in there.
Like, is this how you wash your? I said, is this how you wash your lady parts? Oh, because is that how she washed her lady parts? Because that shit would be tore up to shreds.
Right. It was real aggressive.
Real aggressive. You got to be gentle with the kitty.
Right. And please don't show how that little girl that is not how you wash your lady parts, ma'am.
Let's hope you don't have a daughter.
Okay.
Right. So then she says, after cleaning the chicken, they're going to clean out the sink because, her dad got OCD and she wants to know how she survived that for 16 years. And Zaina basically said, I don't pay that shit no mind.
Right. She's like, my room is always messy. He always
she was like, he comes and tells me clean it up and I do what I want. I do what I want. Okay. Shy says that she's really happy that her and Zaina are getting to know each other. But the fact that her and Yusuf have been calling her by her first name has been bothering her, since they met. So Shy explains to Zaina that she's hoping that they could come up with something, that she feels comfortable calling her. But she knows that Umi is, a little bit strong, but explains that in her culture, that's normal. Even if it's not your mom, it could be your aunt, just an older woman.
Yeah.
Out of respect. And in the confessional, Zaina says her and her brother called Shy and their stepdad by their first names because that's, it's normal to them.
Right.
And she says she doesn't want to move too fast with the name because she's just getting to know her. And she is going to be her stepmom, but she ain't ready to call her that yet. Like, well, I got my own mama. Stepmommy. How about that? Can we call you stepmama? Is that disrespectful? That's what you are. You ain't Umi. But yeah. I love that Zaina is so respectful. So I'd be like, oh, I got one stepmom. Let's call you by what you are, lady.
You're terrible. But yeah, I do think she needs to stop forcing it. That's not it. First of all, let them kids get comfortable with you before you over here stressing about names.
And what's crazy is she actually feels that she's not forcing it or she's not trying to force it. But I feel like now it's only coming up when Bilal is not around to put you in your damn place.
And tell you to fall back off his kids.
Exactly.
But you know what though? I love, like you said, I love that Zaina's standing her ground. She's like, no, that's not what I'm, whether her daddy's there or not. She's like, no, I'm just not there yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, she knows that there's cultural differences and she's just hoping to build a relationship with his children. And like I said, she doesn't want to put too much pressure on her, but.
Well, we pick up where we left off, y'all, with Jabri and David tussling on the floor. Now, his bandmate Brandy, well, first of all, no, let me take that back. Astro Man, I don't remember his name. He jumps in.
Cash.
Oh, Cash. We're going to call him Astro Man. He jumps in and he's, trying to make things simmer down and whatnot. And then Brandy walks in and, takes Jabri to the side, walks him over to the restroom. Jabri's all mad, shuts
him in the door.
And, she inquires with David, what is going on? And he says that he's trying to keep him focused. Now, let me just tell you this, and y'all let me know what y'all think, Shade Squad. And please, if you have not already, please make sure you like
and subscribe.
So, I don't know about y'all, but David irritated me because Jabri very clearly said, stop talking about Miona. Like, he was just, I really don't, I can see if he was they were recording and he was texting her. This is before they had even recorded. He just wanted to send a girl a text real quick. And here you got David acting like he your damn dad.
Why you got to send her a text?
Why you got to send her? She don't know what you doing. Am I fucking you or her?
He's being petty because they don't like each other. He's just being petty because they don't like each other. And clearly he feels some type of way because that's his best friend.
And Jabri basically says, keep Miona's name out your fucking mouth. He hit a Will Smith on him.
Yeah,
so basically everything settles down. They get back into the studio and Jabri is just like, let's record, let's do this. And David, that's what bothered me. It felt like David kept trying to keep going. And Jabri's like, no, let's just make the music. Let's just do the music.
Because he's bothered and he can't come at Miona like this. The only person he can come at is Jabri.
Right. So they go. Now, David does say in his confessional that he feels like Jabri's energy is off and he doesn't blame Miona. Why does my note say the owner? Anyway, he doesn't blame Miona, but knows, right. He knows that he's dealing with something and this is the source of why he has this erratic energy. So basically they get into it and the song was actually good, y'all. I was in here like, okay. I don't know half what y'all saying, but I'd be in a club like, boom, boom, boom. It was giving, y'all. Black Serbs.
Even, Jabri asked David, what is his real issue? And David expressed that I feel like she's distracting you. She's a distraction. You have these goals that you want to accomplish. You have this person you want to be, and you're not doing it because of her. And
he also says you're a pretty steady person. And because your energy is all over the place, I can see that you're under a lot of pressure right now. Jabri then takes this moment to apologize to his bandmates. And then he admits that I did kind of give y'all up to pursue my relationship. And this is where I was like, it's okay to have a come to Jesus moment, but it makes me wonder what's happening with Jabri right now. Maybe he really does feel like he's under a lot of pressure. I don't know.
He's admitted it. He feels like he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but then they already blame her. And then you give them this narrative that no, it may not be her fault, but I definitely did choose her over y'all. Like that doesn't help. That doesn't help the narrative that this is the reason why we haven't been making money and doing what we need to do. So, but he does apologize and, he said he's a creative nomad and, vents about the pressure of getting married and he don't even know how many days he got left, y'all. He's just feeling the pressure of everything. And I get it. but this is who you chose. I understand that your friends, as they should, talk some sense into you. I just didn't think that the session was the moment. And I just didn't like
especially with the producer there.
Right, especially with the producer there. But yet David tried to spin it and make it seem like Jabri was tripping. When in actuality, David agitated the situation when he could have just pulled him to the side and like, as we'll get into it, but it could have been a separate conversation. So Emily and Kobe look like they're down on the farm. They're, hanging out. Kobe's driving it. She finally let him drive a golf
cart.
He's being playful, rubbing Emily on the thigh.
Y'all.
Look, clearly his love language is physical touch. Okay. So he's feeling on her, trying to be affectionate. And this is what my notes say, y'all, because I know it's about to piss off my co-star. Trying to be affectionate with Emily, and she is being her usual Virgo self. They don't like over affection, y'all. They don't like that shit. So, and that's why the Virgo is not saying anything. Just saying. Now, he said Kobe has been there for a month now, but there's been a lot more bickering than she expected. She also said they have a lot to work on before they get married in 2 months. She plans a horseback ride at her neighbor's house, which I did not catch the neighbor's name. And I don't know why I expected her to, but, and she says, we don't get much time away from Coben. So I felt like this, was a cute, and hats off, Emily, that was creative. You probably didn't have to spend no money. Like, that was smart. I'm going to give it to you, girl. I would have done that. The Pisces would have done that. I'm just going to let you know. I'd be like, how can I save some money? I ain't really got
but it wasn't a Pisces.
Make it special.
It was
so I thought that was super cute. And Kobe says, I ain't never rode no horse before, but he's happy with any time that he can spend alone with her. Mm-hmm. I don't know about y'all. I think I like Kobe. I think that he really is here for her, his son. He may have some hiccups, but so does Emily, right? I think she's the bigger problem.
I didn't see nothing wrong with him telling her to shut the fuck up.
We'll get into that. He says that they have their ups and downs, but he loves the fact that they don't let the fighting take away from the good times that they have together. So Emily wants to sit down with her parents. She said that, they talked about finances and planning for their wedding, but she wants to go to her parents, even though she knows it's going to hurt Kobe's pride, and basically ask them for some money to get married. Now, Emily's mom, which I believe her name is Lisa, is listening to her as she's, talking. And she gives her, and my notes literally say, she gives her the Kourtney Kardashian response, yeah. As she's stroking the cat. Yeah. Okay. Meaning I'm not really listening to you. I'm more concerned about stroking the cat. So, Emily asked if they would be willing to help with the expenses for the wedding. Her father, and I caught his name at the end. I didn't catch it at the beginning, so forgive me. I believe it's David, but I will correct myself at the end if I'm wrong. Her father says that currently they are paying everything for Emily. And he wants Kobe to prove that he can provide for his family. And he also feels that she shouldn't be getting married just for the sake of being married. Then they both admit that they have concerns about the marriage. And says, we do like Kobe, but we still don't know him. And Lisa, her mother, lets her know, I understand you have a baby and you done got this man over here, but you still do have a choice. I said, ooh. She said she's concerned because of what she heard in the barn the other day between Emily and Kobe. So apparently Daddy didn't know about this.
Daddy didn't know about that. She ain't shared that with him.
Right. So her dad is shocked at the information that he learns and feels like it was completely disrespectful of Kobe to be telling her to shut the F up, even though she needed to. So,
she don't talk to him like that either.
Right. So Lisa feels like
it made me feel toxic as fuck.
Relationship should be, as Nels would say, rainbows and unicorns. Now,
you know what's so funny? I don't know if she said it, but I put sunshine and rainbows.
You're funny. So she thinks Emily is assuming that everything will be fine. She says that they're going to be there for her, but they have legitimate concerns. She says that she has everything handled except the money.
Finance.
Well, everything's not handled, then, is it? Emily says it's hard living with her parents because they're so involved. Well, that's why you go get your own place. Just saying. Before you move the man over here, but I'm not judging. Her father says that if she's dead set on the wedding, that they'll do it. And I said, and this is why she is who she is today at whatever age she is, with a baby living in your house, then bring a whole man from another country to live in your house, and y'all are supporting it because you continue to support her. It's called coddling. Look it up. Now, Emily says that when he gets his green card, he can work. And, Dad is like, well, what type of work does he plan to do? She's not really sure. And, he's like, that should really be a conversation. So basically her father says that, you talk the talk, and you want to move out and do all these things, but you have no clue. Her mom says she ain't never paid a bill. She don't know nothing about paying bills. Apparently she's like Ariella. So they have that in common. They ain't never paid no bills on their own. They don't know what to do.
And she's just like, oh, well, I mean, I'll figure it out like I do everything else. Asking your parents?
Her dad says, I don't see any evidence of her learning. She hasn't shown me so far at her good age that she has any responsibility.
I made her do something, like work off the debt, something like, you want me to pay for this? All right, well, I need y'all to do something. Like,
it's called coddling. Look it up.
Patrick and John, and Thais apparently wake up to no hot water in their brand new house. I don't know what the hell going on. And Thais didn't even want to get in the shower with him because the water cold. I feel you, girl. Look, I'd be like, we need to boil some water. I can't do this. But, John wants to know how he feels about Thais complaining the night before. Because he was like, you seem like you was a little irritated. And Patrick says he feels like she has nothing to complain about. He seemed like he getting a little irritated with Thais. And I don't know if she like, yeah, my dude got plenty money. I got plenty money. Like,
she riding around in a Tesla giving him some, I'm sure.
She's like, no, we need to do better. I'm like, okay. So John asked,
let me upgrade you. Okay.
Right. She is upgraded. Like it. Be grateful, girl. Now John asked if she is still tracking his phone. Why John want to start some shit? Okay. And Patrick says, yeah,
I'm here for John. I don't.
You said you're not here for John? They don't like each other. It's the same shit. They don't like each other.
No, but it's different because I feel like any person with some sense would be like, or just as a grown ass man, and I want to do what I want to do, and I'm living with you and your wife, and she's supposed to be running stuff in the household. I'm gonna just go get my own apartment. I'm not about to sit here and live like I'm a tot or a teenager again as a grown ass man.
But I don't think he feels that way. I think he feels like I was here first because my brother invited me to live there. And I guess like he pays bills too or whatever.
If you got married and we lived in the same place, I would be looking for another place before that motherfucker moved in.
They didn't grow up how we did.
I guess.
They both feel like they need that from each other.
Even if you didn't say get out off my own accord, I'm going to start to try to find, I don't know. This is a new generation. We was having a sidebar about this.
So Patrick says no, he didn't take it off yet. And he says normally he doesn't express himself and how he feels because he doesn't want to fight, but it's important to let her know how he feels. So, he goes to her and invites her to go have dinner with him. And they're at a restaurant and he brings her some welcome to America gifts. And she's like, oh my God, is this for Christmas? It's like, no. It's boo. This I got something else for that. Okay, this is for welcome to America. Mm-hmm. And she goes to open the box and she is scared as shit.
She thought it was a cat.
She thought it was a cat.
Gato.
In this closed box, it was some furry lingerie is what the hell it was.
It was actually a little Miss Santa outfit. I said Miss.
It was a Santa one, but I think the one she was scared of was the little black piece. The little black furry one.
It was given. I liked them.
It was cute. She looked like she can't wait to put it on. She also found an iPhone in the box and she got super excited. She's like, oh my God. And he tells her, yeah, you gonna take this phone and we're gonna stop sharing my location. So she felt like he's trying to be slick. Like, hold up. How you gonna give me to turn off my location? And he basically like, well, if you don't want to turn off your look, like if you don't want the phone, then keep the old one and we can keep the location on. So he tells her that it gives him a really bad anxiety. And, he feels like there's a lot of mistrust because it's location on. She's like, I got a reason to. Now, he didn't tell us this before. He did not give us this piece of information. Okay. But apparently he kissed a girl. And I feel like this is part of the reason why she don't like John. Because John threw a party over at the old house. Okay. And this is when he had just got back from meeting Thais the first time he went to Brazil. They were official. Okay. And yeah. I invited these girls over and apparently it got hot and heavy. He kissed the girl. He said he could have had sex with her, but he didn't. We don't know what really went down now. We don't know. But then Thais digs a little deeper and she explains that they had been dating for 6 months and he was still talking to this girl, going on her page on Instagram. And she said she ugly as shit. Well, Thais, compared to you, you probably think everybody's ugly as shit because Thais is a little bad. I ain't even gonna lie. And no, he says that was a long time ago. He wants to move past it. He says he hasn't done anything else to prove that he doesn't deserve her trust. And, he wants to make a deal that, if she
basically with the new phone, that if he gives her any reason whatsoever, that she can put the location back on the phone.
Mm-hmm. And she said, no, if you give me any reason, I'm taking my ass back home.
Well,
Brazil. And
when I tell you he felt that. Yeah,
because he looked like he didn't even want to say yes. He was just like, but sir, if you ain't gonna do shit, then yes, it should be okay. So he agrees. So Guillermo and Kara are taking their dog out for a walk. He's been in Charlottesville for 60 days. And I'm sorry, ignore that. He's been in Charlottesville for 3 weeks. And he thinks it's beautiful. It reminds him of, he said, his mom's city, San Felipe. Now, they have 60 days to finalize their paperwork, and he is feeling the pressure of this marriage. And he tells her, that they've had a lot going on. It's been super busy, but he still wants to do something nice for their wedding. And Kara explains in the confessional that in her mind, it makes more sense to just have a courthouse ceremony, given the time frame and the budget.
And it's $50.
It's $50. Yes. And she feels it would be better to wait until next year when they can have their big wedding. So she explains this to Guillermo, and he ain't feeling that. Mm-mm. He feels like, she is constantly telling him no, she is being controlling. And, she says that she doesn't really want to squeeze their dream wedding into 90 days. So he feels like a year from now, they won't be focusing on having their wedding. They'll be trying to save money or trying to have children. And she asked, like, you know what do you feel comfortable with as far as the budget for the wedding? And he said around $2,000. Or you'd be lucky if you'd be able to get her a beautiful dress for $2,000. Or a beautiful ring for $2,000.
Right. But I'm here with, Guillermo. I didn't. So I'm going to agree with Gil.
What you agreeing with?
I'm going to agree with Gil that I think that she's, she just wants what she wants. And instead of taking the time, here's my thing. You would have done that. We need to look up and see if Kara's a Virgo, because you
looked it up online.
You would be like, I'm not gonna sit here and entertain this BS.
No. Because
I would have been the one to take them all the places.
Guess what? You're wrong. You're wrong. Because I have entertained it. I would have drove. I wouldn't have drove all around town looking at places. But guess what? We can do this the quick and easy way. Guess what? Cheapest way to do it is wedding packages. How about that? A lot of shit is included. And I can show you, even with wedding packages, you can't get nothing for $2,000. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to Google it. Google got the answer. Okay? And I would have showed you right from my phone, right then and there, right on camera. Boom. Want to start planning? We need to start planning the date for the courthouse.
She's giving Kara energy right now. Just kill the boy dreams. Just kill. No, but
are cheaper than they are in the US.
So the reason why I feel that way is because I am a Guillermo, where you can tell me something. I'm a dreamer. Yes, I'm a Pisces. Absolutely, I'm a dreamer. But you can tell. I'm also hard-headed, so you can tell me something and say this is what it is, and until I actually see what it is, I'm still no, that's not how. And that's why I was like, okay, she just needs to show him. She just doesn't even have the patience and tries to, I don't know. He doesn't know any better. He's not from here. It's different me being American and just being hard-headed as fuck. I
would have definitely showed him. And I would have thought that she would have understood, since she's been to so many countries and she knows that there's a difference in price and a lot of different things. Maybe out there you can get married for $2,000 and it'd be a big, beautiful wedding that, dream of. But I definitely would have put driving all around the city trying to show you different, making appointments. That I'm not doing. We're not going on dummy missions. We're not doing that. But what I would have did was pulled out my phone and showed you that when you want to even look at wedding packages that include things that most venues don't include. Guess what? Because 9 times out of 10, what she did was went to one beautiful place that was probably, and honestly, if I was Guillermo in that situation, I probably still wouldn't have believed it. Okay. Because I would have felt like you took me to the most expensive place to get married.
Okay.
And this is just to shut down my dreams. Right. So what I would have done was pulled it up on my phone and showed you different options and showed you different prices and showed you that it is out of our budget. And this is what we need to save for.
Blank, period. Dot.
Okay.
Now, Guillermo says in a confessional that when he was in DR, Kara told him yes to everything. Now he feels like she's shutting down everything. Just no. Kara says, well, when we were in DR, you were the one that was more responsible. Like you showed us where to go, how to move. She said, now that I feel more responsible and I feel like it falls on me, and that I'll give her. Mm-hmm. I can't let us get in a situation and book a wedding that we can't pay for. So I was here for on that. I will say that I just felt like it deserved better explanation versus just shutting him down.
Mm-hmm. It did. And Guillermo says to her, basically, you're not my mother to tell me yes or no. We are going together to see it together and make a choice together. And she says she's happy to show him the wedding venue, but don't get super attached. It's like showing you a wedding cake and then you can't eat it. And honestly, I feel like that's why I would have showed him on the phone, because I would have hated for you to go there, get the feel of the place, see it, and then somebody got to bust your bubble and tell you it ain't happening home. Maybe not even in a year.
So we get to Miss Miona. She's out dress shopping. And Brandy meets up with her. I said, okay.
Apparently, Brandy is Jabri's cousin.
Oh, okay. Is that Jabri's cousin?
That's what he said.
No, I think I know what you're talking about, and I don't think that's his cousin. I think that we'll get to that. So she goes dress shopping. She meets up with Brandy, and I thought that was super cute that she's not on the outs with everybody in the band. She says she wishes that she could have her mother and her sister, but she is happy that Brandy can be there with her. She says that she's become a really close friend with them being on tour, and they've kind of formed a bond. Now, Brandy comes in and asks her what type of gown does she want? Is she looking for a sweetheart, mermaid? I said, yes, girl. That's the type of girl you want when you're going dress shopping. Now, Miona knows Jabri is worried about money. However, she said she's not going to overspend and do anything ridiculous, but she wants to feel good and she doesn't care how much it costs.
Well,
it was kind of an oxymoron.
It was, but I still got you, boo.
So Brandy asked her how things were going living with Jabri, and she said that she feels like they're too old to be living with his parents. Miona says that she's trying, but she does feel like Jabri is playing both sides. He's a fence straddler. And he's just trying to keep the peace between the parents and Miona. And then ask her, how did things go at the studio with David? Now, Brandy lets her know that, there was a situation. David did bring you up. And, they kind of had it out. She doesn't go into detail, but lets her know that there was some issues. And, Miona says that she feels like Jabri just needs to stick up for her and make her happy. And Brandy actually says that she understands, trying to make a relationship work and then moving to a new country and trying to start a new life. The attendant, she all up in the business too. She's like, yeah, he needs to fight for you.
She just want to be the camera child.
Becky.
She want her 5 minutes of fame.
Becky, who was talking to you? So, and she says, well, I am teaching him to fight for me. I said, all right, Miona, get your ass fighting on a flight right back to Serbia. Oh my God, guys. We are with Muhammad and Eve.
You are the worst. So he is sitting outside drinking a cup of coffee, and Eve comes to join him. And, he tells her, I didn't make you any because you were asleep and I didn't want to wake you.
Because you stay out all night. It's morning.
And yeah, he is already with the shits. Okay. He's like, you told me you was coming back in.
I know Shay Squad, y'all gonna argue with me. If you haven't already, please like the video.
And subscribe.
I know y'all gonna argue with me. I forgot who it was. It might have been Universal Advocate. Shout out to Universal Advocate for always comments.
Some hate about Muhammad.
He just said Muhammad needs to go. And I'm just gonna say this. Muhammad does need to go, but I'm proud that Muhammad is going on his own terms, not because I've always said that. And I think that because I've been watching 90 Day since day one, that, like I said, we see so many people that fold on their beliefs and their, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, I do feel like we see a lot of people that fold.
I get like Americanized, but not fold. I feel like I see more people from America go to these countries and bring them back and try to change them. And they're not willing to fold. They get like a little Americanized, but they're still like, no, I am who I am. And this is my culture, my religion. And you knew who I was, bitch, you knew who I was when you met me.
Like, I don't know if my favorite, and I can't remember her name right now, which is terrible because I'm talking about she's my favorite character. But the girl She was her name wasn't Ari. I feel like it started with an A. The girl that went over to, was it Serbia, Russia? It was something like that, and met her dude, and she became Muslim before she met him. She met him on a Muslim website, and I love their love, and I love how she respects his culture.
I know who you're talking about.
She used to be a city girl before she met this man. And when I tell you, she conformed, changed, respected everything that he expect. Even when her mother was like, "You crazy? Why are you going along with this?" And I said, "Yo,"
and she ended up moving over there with him, didn't she?
Right. Mm-hmm. I think they ended up moving to Lebanon, or they were trying to find, because he was in a.
I thought it was Jordan or.
Oh no, he was like, I was gonna say Bosnia. That's terrible. He was somewhere where they were fighting. They were fighting, like it was active war going on. So I can understand her concern.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I did like their story. But
90-day cast members, because she knew what she was getting into. She accepted it. She did her own research. Right.
You know what? And you know what though? Let me tell you something. I don't know what it is about the Muslim religion. I'm not Muslim. I'm not a Muslim woman. Okay. But I feel like when people who are not Muslim do begin to do their research on the Muslim religion, they usually convert. I don't know what it is, but they usually convert. Now, she's not willing. Eve is not willing to really do any research. She's just kind of like, I'm dating this Muslim man. I plan to marry him. I went over to his country, Egypt, and now I'm going to bring him back. And now we're in America. Now he needs to do what we do here. That's not fair.
I tell y'all, this is what makes me mad about Eve. She wanted a boy toy. She wanted a boy toy, somebody that she could look at. She wanted a babysitter for her son. She didn't want a man. She wanted a babysitter that she could fuck. Okay? And that's exactly why she brought him over here. And now that he's like, no, I thought I was getting a wife, and you said you were going to change it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I am with Muhammad when I believe everything that he says, because I believe he wouldn't be over here if she didn't say it. And that's why I applaud him standing his ground, because he said, no, you told me. I only ended up over here because you told me all these things. You made me believe that these were things that you wanted.
It was clear.
It was clear. And now all of a sudden you are a whole new person. And I'm not Muslim. I don't want to be Muslim. And that's fine. I respect you.
And he did say that.
I don't want you to convert. I just want you to respect my beliefs, my culture.
But he said, it's okay. It's okay if you don't convert. But yes, you do need to respect my culture. And I don't see anything wrong with that. At the end of the day, I just feel like if you are American and you want to live by your American culture, American, ways, date somebody from America, be with somebody from America, or someone who lives the same way. Don't go to a Muslim country and think you're going to bring them back and change them to the way you are, because that's like him coming over here, trying to bring you back over there, and you're American and he knows who you are and he's telling you to be like this. No, you knew what it was. You knew what it was.
Signed up. Now, she talks about, I just needed time with my friends. I needed a night out. And he's like, I'm just not really here for you hanging with your friends, because every time you come back from hanging with your friends, you always have these new perspectives and ideas. And Muhammad, I cannot say what he said in Arabic, but he does say in Arabic that basically something about spilling poison in the honey.
Yes. He said,
which basically
he says that they have a Muslim saying, don't spill poison in the honey. And he feels that's what's happening when she goes out with her crazy friends.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, basically Muhammad lets her know, look, I feel like you're wasting my time at this point. You brought me over here. You sold me on all these things. You want to change. You want to be a different person. You want to live a certain lifestyle. I came over here based on that. And he said, basically, she's keeping the same energy after the 90 days. Guess what? He won't be here. And I don't think he should. Here's what I'm saying, Shay Squad. I don't think she should be forced to convert. That's not what I'm saying. I think you should want to do it. However, I do believe she got that boy over here and misled him, making him think that she was going to live a certain lifestyle and she was okay with it. And
clearly
now that
she was willing to change something, she threw away some of her
and if it's one, yeah, she flipped it and reversed it. Okay, she flipped it and reversed it on his ass.
So Bilal is having a family day, and they start off in the home praying before they go out, and then they head out to have some fun. In the car, Sean says, had she known, this would have been a perfect day to go shopping for some wedding supplies.
Mm-hmm.
It gets super, super duper quiet.
Super quiet. Bilal's who said that? Look, who said that?
In the confessional, Bilal says Shai's been there for a month and she wants to talk about wedding planning, but there's a lot more other things that need to be talked about before this wedding. Apparently, he brought up a prenup to her. And, he says that they never really discussed the details, but it needs to be done. Now, he takes everybody for a ride on scooters. I don't know. I guess, maybe this is cool for outdoorsy people. It's not my day. Not my idea of a. It's not my idea of
because I'm not. Let me tell y'all something. My boo will do this. He will be walking down the street and not want to go somewhere because he don't like walking. He'd be like, "Let's get on a scooter," and I'm just supposed to ride on.
That's how I would do it, but to actually plan to do it, it wouldn't be a plan.
No, I prefer if it would plan, so I have to write so I don't scrape my knees. I can't be on in heels and a dress and stuff like that. Like that's the type of stuff. And he's spontaneous, and I got to be spontaneous with him. So I understood where. I'm a Virgo. I wouldn't even call myself spontaneous. We like to plan, but to plan to go on a scooter as like the day outing. But she doesn't want to be the Debbie Downer, the person that's not fun. They're also with the kids, so I get it. And she's
never been on a scooter before. But
she was hiding in the bushes.
Crashing, y'all. But she dusts herself off and she tried again. Okay. And she seemed to have try again. So she tells him she need a break. She like, look, this is too much. She need a break. They sit down to have a conversation and talk about how her life flashed before her eyes.
She saw God, y'all.
She said she saw God.
She said, I seen the light.
So he asked her, how she's adapting, living in another home and, being there with him. And she says she's enjoying getting to know him and seeing his habits. But he can be, a little fussy in particular. Of course, she's talking about his OCD.
Right.
As per usual. And then they get into a little spat about shining spoons. Apparently he wants her to shine spoons. And, he's like, you don't shine no damn spoons. Like, even your mama said,
you even told me, your mama told me you don't really clean the silverware. Yeah. And she's like, why do you make everything? Like, why do you have
you have to win everything?
Look, she don't need no rebuttals. Bilal, she don't need no rebuttal. And that's what you're giving. Every time she says something, you have a rebuttal.
The conversation.
You're terrible.
I mean, if you're talking about shining spoons, lady, you don't shine spoons. What is the problem? I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to tell you that's something you don't do. Why are you bringing it up in this conversation?
Well, she was just picking on his OCD and how it was things were. So
maybe you need to work on yours.
She opened it. She left the door open.
Well, maybe you need to work on yours because we're leaving dirty dishes in the damn
Shade
Squad. The drawer.
Shade Squad.
Oh Jesus!
Make sure if you have not already, because y'all know when I say this, I'm about to give y'all something. So I ain't giving you the tea for free. So
I'm gonna sit here and eat my candy bar and listen to what you got to say. My little ice cream.
Make sure y'all hit that like button
and subscribe.
Now, All right. Remember, the tea ain't free. Make sure you like. So apparently, word on the street is that Bilal does not own, and I believe it's Really BTV. Shout out to Really BTV for dropping this tea so that I could pick it up for y'all and spill it again. Now, apparently, Bilal only owns the home that we first saw that Shy was so, oh my God, and this is terrible. And the
dilapidated home.
Right, the dilapidated home. Apparently, that is the only home Bilal owns. According to the word on the street, allegedly, that whole house that they're living in is a model home. And we all know he's a real estate agent. And that is why she can't have no water on the floor. She can't have no pins in the couch, because at any moment, somebody might walk in and want to see the house and possibly buy it. I said, that makes a lot of sense.
So does that mean he's homeless?
No, he has another home. He just chooses to live in the model home for the show.
The dilapidated home he's living in? He lives in that home.
I think he lives there. And maybe I'm wrong. Shade Squad, if y'all know something that I don't know, I'm just giving y'all the little tea that I got. Go ahead, girl.
Well, even though, well, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you don't know how to follow that up, right? So basically, go ahead.
After their argument, she basically says, she needs some space, she needs some time. And he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna give it to you and let me know when you're ready to leave. Picks up and walks away. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
He gives asshole energy.
Look, I wonder what he is. He gives very much asshole energy.
Mm-hmm.
So Kara takes Guillermo to see a wedding venue, like she said she would. Mm-hmm. And she wants to show him potential things that they could do if they had the time and the money to put a wedding together. They're both very pleased.
And the money. Ain't got no credit card or no debt. Well, you got plenty of debt. Can't even buy your flowers.
So they're both very pleased with the wedding venue. He says, he could cry, like having his wedding there. It's like a dream. Okay. Then the lady pulls out the details of the pricing. And she lets him know that Fridays and Saturdays is $7,500. And
Saturdays are $10,000.
$10,500.
Oh, I missed 500 on the
500. That 500 make a difference.
Okay? Up in commas. Yeah.
And that includes nothing but the venue.
And they'll need to provide their own catering.
Their own flower, their own everything. That's only the venue. That's it. I don't even know if it includes the chairs. Okay. That's it. That's just the venue. All right. And the coordinator, in the confessional, Guillermo says that he loves the place, but he understands it's very expensive and they cannot afford it. And Kara just has a huge ass grin on her face. Like, I tell you.
That was right.
And the coordinator asks about their budget and lets them know, if you plan a year out, it gives you time to increase your budget. And Kara feels so freaking validated, of course, after hearing that. Now, Guillermo says he appreciates that Kara took him to see it for herself. But he feels like, she still wants to control everything. He tells her to stop that shit. Okay. Because she does not have the final word. And sometimes she makes plans. And because, she made a plan and, he feels like he has to go. He said he ain't doing that shit no more. Basically, this just took a turn for the worse. She feels like, she brought him here to please him and make him happy. And this is a day where they're talking about their wedding. So it should be great conversation and lighthearted. And that's not what it is. Okay. Conversation went totally left and it turned real negative. And now she feels like she can't win for losing. Girl, look, you should have just showed his ass online. I told you. Jabri goes out with David to his favorite Siberian restaurant. And he says
Serbian.
He's not happy. Huh?
You said Serbian. Serbian.
What'd I say?
Serbian restaurant is Serbian. It's okay. Forgive her, Shade Squad.
Serbian, his favorite Serbian restaurant. I don't know what the hell wrong with me. He says he's not happy about how things went down earlier. What you still talking shit with?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Happy about how things went down in the studio and in the Serbian culture. You know, when you fight, you talk it out and you drink some rakia, which I guess is moonshine. David starts out and tells him that, you know, he needs to do better because we're not on the same page. And in the confessional, David says that says that David is putting a mirror up to him and making him see that maybe, you know, he's not ready for a relationship and maybe Miona is not ready for a relationship. And he's like, who the hell wants to see that? So, you know, he's fighting his demons.
Especially after I brought her over here and paid all this money and we supposed to be getting married. Who wants to see that?
He got her over here. Like, if he ain't really making no money.
I'm looking for the man in the mirror. Hey, I'm asking him to change his ways. Oh, just saying.
David tells him that he cares about him. Well, both of them, and wants him to succeed. And, you know, it may not feel that way because he's being honest and straight up with him. But he does tell him that he's worried about him. He asks what Miona brings to the relationship. Like, does she inspire you? Does she support your music? Does she encourage you? And Jabri says music is really not her world. And she doesn't understand that, you know, he gets creative at night. So she just doesn't quite get it. And David says he thinks that Miona runs the relationship. I'm sorry, he did not say this to Jabri, which was a great idea. Okay. He says that he thinks Miona runs a relationship and her feelings are more important than his. And he feels like he's just going to burn himself out and invest a lot of time, money, and energy into something that's just not going to work out. And I think this is why he gets so upset, because he just does not want to see his friend go down this rabbit hole. Jabri expresses that the things that make him happy, you know, that make Miona happy, he kind of gets bored with very quickly, and he needs that dopamine, and creating gives him that. He asks David for his opinion on getting married, and David tells him no, he wouldn't get married. He needs more time to get to know his partner because people change and things change, and says that he would take his time. And I don't know, it seemed like he getting in Jabri's head. Jabri is, but I don't know. Jabri said that, you know, he moves quickly anyway, so he probably ain't gonna listen to the advice anyway.
He like me, he hard-headed. We head back over to Salinas with Emily and Kobe.
Saliva
calls it, yeah. Now, Emily's father, David, did I say get his name right?
Say David. Look at
David. All right.
Oh, girl.
Thank you. So now Emily's father, David, invites Kobe downstairs for beer and to have a conversation. Emily is off with her grandmother, I believe. Kobe says that, you know, Emily's dad is a big guy and can be a little intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's a little nervous as to why her father wants to talk to him. So he tells Kobe he doesn't really know him and they've been keeping it light, but he does want to share his concerns with him. He says that he wants to know what his plan is. He said that they can live. He says and then he said, hold on, I forgot my daughter crazy as shit too. So y'all can live in y'all fantasy world and think that I'm gonna front the bill, but let me tell you what's not gonna happen.
Not there.
I'm cutting the money off, okay? Now, he said in order for things to happen, he
money
has
reside where the money reside.
and ask him what his plan is. And me and Nels were just talking about this. You gotta have a damn plan. This new generation don't have no plans. They just do and don't have a plan. So he said Emily suggested that maybe he could go back to modeling, but he doesn't really feel like there's a place for that in Salinas. And guess what? You right. Now,
it's still a hard thing to tap into. So the fact that she even suggested that. But you know what? I forgot. She don't know no better. She don't know no better. I forgot.
Right. So we learned he has skills in civil engineering. And apparently Emily's dad told him he was an architect. So we learned that Emily's dad, David, has a whole company, architecture company, which is probably why his house is so beautiful and nice on this land that he lived. Shout out.
Why he's able to foot the bill for his daughter.
Now, basically, Kobe is under the impression, or maybe Emily has made him believe, I don't know if it's his dream or her.
What the hell?
They're both beautiful dreamers. Now, he believes that he can just go work for Emily's dad and,
and learn to take over the business.
Take over the business. They cut to David in the confessional. He said, I think this motherfucker's crazy. If he thinks that he's going to come in and take over my business, he's out of his mind. He tells David he wants to become an architect, and David lets him know that's a 4 or 5 year program, and you're going to have to pay for that because I'm not. Now, Kobe said
about 4 years of training, even after that, and you still have to do about 4 years of training after that before you even get your license.
See, I didn't get that part. So, he's like, no, I don't have a problem going to school. And then he is cute because he thinks he's doing something. So he's like, so Emily don't know. I've disclosed it from her, but Emily don't know that I actually brought $4,000 over here. And when I tell you, David was sitting there looking at, that's it. So
that might get you a couple months.
Right. Yeah. That might get you a couple months. And really, it ain't going to get you a couple months because you got a baby, an infant. That changes the game, the cost.
And, he says back in Cameroon, he can get an apartment, be able to feed his family for like a whole year off of $4,000. And now he's worried he won't be able to fulfill the promises that he made to Emily. That's what it sounded like, homeboy.
And basically, David lets him know that he needs to put together a plan. And needs to sit down and talk to Emily because she ain't got a fucking clue either. And they need to come together and figure out something so they can stop running up his architect paycheck because that is not what he went to school for. Okay? Now,
he said this is not party in the USA. It is work, work, work. Work, work, work. Work.
You need to put job.
So Patrick and Thais are unpacking their clothes and putting them away. He's apparently showing her how to hang up her clothes. And, he says that he's
still not hanging them up. She's folding them and putting them on the thing.
Well, he was trying to show her. She was like on this, like put it on this, like, on a hanger. I guess he's trying to show her.
I guess they fold over there. They don't hang. I don't know.
They got closets. Well, anyways, he says
everything up, which is weird.
He says that he's glad to finally be able to turn off his location. And, he just really wants trust in their relationship. Now, John comes in and tells them, hey, guys.
Party in the USA.
Hey, right. USA, huh? And Thais does not understand what's going on. But, Patrick explains it to her. And she is clearly not happy about it. She thinks it's rude that he's throwing a party in a house that he shares with other people without mentioning it. And John is like, well, if I would have said something to you, you would have said no. She's like, duh, like, of course. So John's male friends show up with alcohol, and she seems very comfortable giving everybody hugs and
what was the Wagner?
Them. Huh?
Wagner was one of the friends that showed up.
The one that was doing all the talking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was dope. Like his friend actually tried to make her feel comfortable until.
Exactly. So she feels comfortable with them, and but Wagner, I guess it was, lets them know that he has invited his own guest. Invited to somebody else's house and then invite your own guest. But apparently John was down with this, and John knew about it. And it's a bunch of women at the goddamn door. Okay. And Thais is not as friendly with these ladies. Now she's giving handshakes. Hi. Nice to meet you. Yeah, whatever. Patrick says that he's uncomfortable, so he's sure Thais is uncomfortable. And in the confessional, Thais says she's not the type of person to host parties. She's very conservative. And she feels like, she can curse everybody out and kick them out. So, well, all right, Thais.
Then Wagner pulls him to the side when he sees that Thais is a little bit uncomfortable and basically asks him how he's doing. And he says he has a lot of anxiety. Thais grabs him and escorts him back to their bedroom. Mm-hmm. And basically, lets him know that, look, I see you. I might be over
Brazilian. But he said, I see my beautiful Brazilian, not these ugly bitches.
I see you in my peripherals. Don't play with me.
Oh, you're talking about Thais?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, I'm watching you, homie.
And
you know what I was worried about? What I was worried about was that old chick coming to the party.
I was worried about the same. I said, what if they bring the old chick back?
And then there was this girl that it seemed like he was like kind of familiar with or something.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, the disrespect.
I thought that same thing.
He ain't mentioned nothing. Not that he mentioned it before, so we still don't know.
He tells Thais, "You're my beautiful Brazilian," and
all these other bitches is nothing, my nigga, nothing. Okay, and he tells her to trust him, and they rejoin the party and they get to tonguing each other down and all each other's throats.
My notes say they end up in the night tonguing each other down, and I said, "Okay, that's how it's supposed to go."
I was like,
no.
And that's exactly what I said. She's trying to let these bitches know, like, ain't going nowhere.
Right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
for tuning into another review of 90 Day Fiance. Please make sure that you like,
you comment,
you subscribe,
and hit the notification bell.
And we will catch you in a couple days.
We'll holler back at you.
We'll holler back at you. We'll catch you in a couple days for the newest episode of 90 Day Fiance.
Mwah. Good night.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe.